Everybody, welcome to Storm Talk. Wave 3 News meteorologist Brian Good here on this Friday. Not exactly a pretty Friday at all. In fact, a lot of cloud cover and at times on the cool side and wet as well. We've got areas of drizzle, some rain showers moving in. The core of that low pressure now passing in across portions of central Indiana. We're on the southern flank of that, so we're getting more of that west flow underneath that low. And until that low moves out of here, we will be faced with the cloud cover and at least the chance for drizzle and a shower. And then that may take a good 12 hours from now to really get that picture out of the way as far as that setup. But then tomorrow, still some leftover moisture closer to the ground level may linger a bit, but it should begin to break up as we head toward midday. Then we get into a nicer looking day on Sunday with high level clouds moving in and warmer weather. Monday, our next system. The GFS has kind of been wavering a bit on the track of this low. During the overnight, it was trying to take it back toward the I-70 area, but the latest run of it went back to what the Euro's doing here. What you see, it's basically a track along the Ohio River, which is still more of a heavy rain threat for our area, more so than a severe weather threat. So at this point, we don't see any issue with that. We'll monitor that as systems do tend to trend a bit more north as we get closer in time. But even if it did, this setup isn't a perfectly good south flow off the Gulf with this one, so it's not as much of a flow really moving to the area, and we saw what can happen when you cut that flow off like we did yesterday. So we'll monitor the trends here from Monday to Tuesday. What is more interesting for next week, and what is probably catching an eye of a lot of you, especially on social media today, is what's happening after it moves out. We're seeing signs of this very amplified jet stream pattern across the lower 48, and that's likely going to send in this upper low that is going to dig into the Ohio Valley. We've seen hits for this past couple of days. We've been trending slowly. If you've noticed on the Wave 3 News weather app, we've been taking the numbers down a bit around the 7th of April slowly. And then I don't know if we're even done taking them down even lower the way things are looking. But there is a sign it's going to dig in, and there's the blue line is back on the map. It's the rain-snow line. Oh, I bet you've missed that, haven't you? That low really digs in. This is the Euro, and I think there could be some sleet mixed in with this before it moves on out. And the reason why is when you look at the 850s, usually 0 to -1, you start talking about the rain-snow line. Well, this time of the year, you're going to have to go colder than that, all right? You're going to have to go certainly at least -4 like we're showing here, but -4 to -7. That's when we started getting into a cold enough or a thick enough layer of cold air to produce anything on the wintry side. And the Euro's hinted at that, and certainly the GFS is. When you look at the actual temperatures at ground level, it may be hard to read, but it's giving us a number of about 48, 30s in the higher elevations of the Appalachians, by the way. Usually in these scenarios, if you've got precipitation falling, whatever the 850 number is, which is about -4, -5, you can't trust then the ground temperature of that 48. More than likely, that'll be a bit lower. Right now, I think we got 50 or 51 in for a high, but we may have to trend it all the way down into the 40s. The models do interpret that so far as a rain event, though, for the area as we head into about the end of next Thursday into Friday. It's showing more of the elevation type of snow setup. It will depend on layers here. This is the time of the year we got to figure out how much warm layer we got, how much cold layer we got, and that will determine if it's all liquid form or if there'll be some ice pellets mixed in. GFS trying to go toward a snow idea. I don't see the cold layer at this point being thick enough for snowflakes to survive all the way to the ground level. It's possible, but at this point I don't see a sign of that. So we're going to trend it more of a rain to sleet kind of a mix about a week from today. Something interesting to watch, more annoying actually than interesting, because to have it now in April, this is miserable. And it could be on the Friday again. So 2 Fridays in a row of nasty weather is not cool. It's just not cool. I will say this, though, the CFS potential for severe weather down the road into April, it's picking up again around April 10th for another potential severe weather event in the nation's heartland. This will be after that cold wave leaves us. We have a big surge of warm air. The Euro is really hitting at this as well. Could back into the 70s, maybe some 80s, and that will set the stage for severe weather. So severe weather potential, warm weather is likely to make a return, but we may get briefly interrupted later next week with some colder weather and a taste of winter. We'll see how it plays out. Enjoy the napping weather today. We'll see you guys coming up on Monday.